Today we are talking about books all about money, so let's dive right in. The first book I want to talk about is You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. I've talked about this book a lot on my channel already. In fact, I think I've mentioned it in 2 other videos so far. It's my favorite book by far on money. Jen just has the most wonderful way of writing, and she's very entertaining as well as very informative. So I'm not going to speak too much more about it because I've already spoken about it a lot on my channel so far, but it's by far my favorite book on creating money in your life and welcoming it into your life, and it's really entertaining too, so highly recommend this one. It's definitely my favorite. Next is Happy Money by Ken Honda, and this is such a beautiful book, and it's actually not even that long. I think it only took me like a day or so to read. And this book is mainly about the energy behind your money and how money can be happy if it comes from sources or areas in your life that make you happy, or it can also be tainted if it comes from, I guess, stressful situations or situations in your life that aren't that happy. I thought the idea behind this book was quite simple, but actually really quite beautiful, and it's really stuck with me for a while. I read like a lot of these books that I'm going to talk about today are about manifestation and your emotions towards money and your mindset towards money, but this was just a really simple, beautiful concept where if you can create money from a feeling of happiness, then you will invite more money into your life. So yeah, this is a particularly beautiful book, so I really like this one too, and I actually gifted it to a friend of mine, so I don't have it with me because I liked it so much. I thought it was important that someone else read it too. Next is The Art of Money by Barry Tesler. This book I actually picked up from the library and I ended up really enjoying it. Barry is a bookkeeper as well as a money mindset coach, and she talks about 2 main things in this book. The first being how to track your money and manage your money, but in particular noting every cent that comes in and every cent that comes out, and really just becoming very aware of how much money you really have in cents and dollars. And I guess getting to know your money quite intimately in that way. And she talks about the importance of tracking your money as well. This is something that I personally already do, but it was really cool to see how Barry tracks her own money, and she gives tips and tricks on how to do it. She recommends some software to do it, and she really talks about the transformative power that looking at every cent that comes in and out can give you. She also talks a lot about body check-ins. So if you're in a situation that might be stressful for you about money, she talks about noticing where in your body you feel that stress and any emotions that are coming up for you, and just kind of breathing through them as well. So I thought this book was practical as well as mindset-y, I guess, and really just a delightful read. The next book is actually pretty popular, I think. It's called The Barefoot Investor by Scott Pape. I read this book again in a few days or so, I think, and it had some really useful information in it, I should say. It gave a lot of helpful methods for managing your money, but it talked also a lot about things like mortgages and car repayments and credit cards as well, and basically how to get yourself out of debt or how to manage those repayments as effectively as possible. So if you're looking to pay off your mortgage or consolidate your debts or things like that, this can be a very, very helpful book for you. It just wasn't entirely applicable to my financial situation at the moment, so whilst I did enjoy reading it and I think it can be very useful for a lot of people, it wasn't that relative to me. But I still think it has some very good overall money management tips as well. The next book that I've read about money is called Get Rich Lucky Bitch by Denise Duffield Thomas. I'm sorry, I promise I'm not swearing, that is the name of the book. This book is mainly written for women, and it's all about wealth mindset and making money and running a business in particular as well, and really just helping women get out of debt and be powerful and wonderful and everything like that. I did really enjoy this book. It wasn't my most favorite money mindset book, but I liked a lot of what Denise had to say. She also talks quite a bit about the law of attraction as well, which I think is definitely relevant to money mindset. In fact, it is kind of like the crux of a whole money mindset. And one of the things that I really did enjoy about this book is when Denise broke down the whole stigma about having things like cleaners or personal assistants or people to help you manage your life and your money. She really talked about how that's actually a really wonderful thing to have. I just found it really interesting, and that's a subject that isn't touched on in a lot of other wealth mindset books. So yeah, I think this book is definitely worth a read, and I did enjoy it overall. The next book is The Secret to Attracting Money by Joe Vitale. This book is very similar to The Secret, if you have read that one as well. This one, of course, is obviously all about attracting money, and it is mainly about the law of attraction. So it talks a lot about your mindset and your emotions towards money and any past trauma that you may have around money, and how to release those blockages to really start to attract money into your life. It's a fantastic book. If you're not really into the whole law of attraction thing, this probably won't be your cup of tea. But if you believe that your thoughts can create money in your life, then this one is excellent. I highly recommend it. The last book that I want to talk about today is called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. This book was really good, actually. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was. T. Harv Eker talks a lot about mindset in this book and how the wealthy tend to have a different mindset around money versus those that aren't so wealthy. And he talks a lot about your money threshold as well, and how you'll always earn a certain amount of money depending on where your mindset is at and how much you feel like you deserve. Then he also talks about 17 different ways that the rich act and think differently to the poor, and that part of the book I found really enlightening. There were definitely a few thought processes there that I could definitely relate to on the less wealthy side, thought processes that I have myself that he pointed out are probably illogical, definitely illogical to begin with, but also really would keep me in a less wealthy mindset. And so it was really interesting to just get, I guess, a bit of an insight into a millionaire mind, literally, and how the wealthy tend to think and feel about their money. And I found that really useful in identifying negative thoughts I have about money in my own mindset, and coming up with ways to change those thoughts, to think of money in a more positive way and to therefore attract it into my life. Those are the 8 books that I've read recently all about money. I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to leave a link to each of these books on Amazon in the description box below if you'd like to check any of them out. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.